recording starting. Can you test your audio?
Yeah, I can start. Hello and welcome to Tremaine's Tangents. So today we're talking about Atlas Shrugged. This is the most research I've ever done for an episode.
Oh no!
You really ask quite a lot of me, Tremaine. You know how long that fucking book is? Read the whole damn thing for this episode.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
What'd you think?
What?
What'd you think?
Terrible! Libertarian utopia that people seem to think is a good thing. My god.
Do you know what? I know this is a tangent on something that was meant to be a joke, but there's in the new GTA, in one of the GTA online missions, there's this guy who describes the most dystopian world ever as a blueprint for a perfect world, and he just goes, all the lawyers, teachers. Like at first you're like, okay, yeah, lawyers maybe, and then teachers, doctors, and you're like, hold on, these people are quite important. And he's like, people with too many degrees, they will be at the gates banging, trying to get in, and you and I will be manning the water hoses. So yeah.
Yeah, no one with glasses, no one with soft hands. Yeah, I understand. I feel like I've heard this before.
Fuck, I have both.
We'll make a beautiful red society.
Covered in blood. Anyway, on to today's topic, which is...
Well, Khmer Rouge was the red party. The Rouge was red, so...
Shut
the red
up.
Khmer.
Jag,
Anyway.
Jag, do you want to slap? Is that...
If it's on offer.
28th, bitch, I'm coming.
Can't wait.
I can't wait to throw up outside your car again.
Hey, outside's better than some have done.
Oh.
Now, we have an episode. It sounds like it's not about Atlas Shrugged.
No, because we're not gonna... I would have to read that too. And that's not how this works. You do the reading.
You told me you read it once a month.
What? No. How dare you accuse me of such treachery?
Like Christopher Lee with Lord of the Rings. No, he was once a year, I think. We could do Atlas Shrugged once a year. Only 1,000 pages.
What? Oh yeah, because Ayn Rand was like really not... I don't want to say intelligent because she's... I don't believe her...
She was learned.
She was... Yeah, that's the word, yeah. She was quite... what's the word?
And sorry, we are talking about Elise O'Connor.
Oh, right. She was quite productive.
Oh yeah, she had the output.
Yeah, unlike most writers. Anyway, so today we are discussing the first encounter. So this is to do with encountering aliens and creating forming first contact. So Jag's going to kick us off with some fictional first contacts, and then we're going to discuss a little bit of what we believe will be the first contact. And so hope you enjoy. And don't forget, before we start the episode, to go and share this if you enjoy it, and also to go onto our Facebook and Instagram pages, follow us, and leave some mean comments. Bring it on.
Yeah, exactly. If you do hate it, for example, the last episode where I went full racist, leave some comments. Like, tell me I'm a bad person. It's all interaction.
No, that last part. Ignore that last part. Do not find...
They can tell me I'm bad. That's fine.
Do not tell anyone. Do not tell anyone that interaction is good, and that's why people do controversial things.
Yes, my actual beliefs are as I make them out to be. Definitely. Tell me I'm naughty. So I'd been thinking, when you told me the upcoming topic, I was thinking, like,
2 minutes ago.
what are my favorites? What are my classics? A lot of them don't contain a first contact, really.
Well,
I
fuck.
was thinking, Lensman is great. In Lensman, mankind's entire history and evolution was guided by aliens, so there's no first contact. Not in a real sense. I was thinking, Family D'Alembert. Um, there was a first contact with aliens, but then it turns out that the aliens are actually
Sorry, we're just missing Jag slightly. Though, if you're wondering
first
why,
contacts, but they're all part of a union, kind of already.
we may experience some interruptions because we are filming this in the middle of a cyclone. So just bear with us.
You are. I have a little bit of rain.
I'm not kidding. There is a lake on the road.
Cyclone Gabriel. Yeah, you're screwed. I hear Muriwai's just been evacuated.
Midway.
That's somewhat near you.
Is it?
Don't
Don't tell people where I am.
Easy driving distance anyway.
Oh fuck.
So expect some refugees at your door. I gave them your address. It's like, anyone evacuating, go to this house. It's a safe place.
If they're white, they're getting sent back. See how they like it.
Push them back into the ocean. Yes.
Back in you go.
So it occurred to me that most of the first contact stories that are in the front of my mind come from the subreddit Humanity. Fuck yeah. Which, as an aside, I've heard such good things, and I've liked a couple of the stories that occasionally cross my paths on Facebook. Boy, a lot of these are so jingoistic. Like,
Could you define?
unironically, well, you know how Starship Troopers is, the movie at least, is patterned after Nazi propaganda.
Right.
It's very, we're the best, beat the rest sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that is kind of the point of that specific subreddit. It's about how awesome humans could be in a sci-fi or fantasy setting.
People raised in a stable environment. Yeah, go
on. And it struck me that it's quite a lot like a lot of the Chinese novels I read.
Yeah.
Because well, all Chinese media has to go through. It's not just censorship. It's a system where you're required to include sufficient material that big ups China.
Oh, of course.
So
yeah.
even if you're talking about a fantasy universe, the Chinese stand-ins have to be superior, whether culturally, genetically, whatever. And Humanity Fuck Yeah is largely English version of that, and I just found that parallel kind of fun. But anyway, so Humanity Fuck Yeah has a lot of these whole first contact ideas. So there's why humans avoid war, the humans answered, and the nature of predators cover three very different ideas of first contact. I will say two of those are by the same author. Space Paladin 15 does a lot of writing. If it's the sort of thing you're interested in, have a look. It's all done in chapters, so you can decide quite early if it's not your thing.
Oh, is it done in
It's
like
not
the
really,
old, like how Charles Dickens was done? Like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, they're periodicals almost. Um,
Pulps, yeah.
so, do we want to start with the different types of first contact that we've encountered in different books or stories?
So I will get.
And then we can break down each one.
Yeah.
The interesting ones at least.
Well, I've only got one story that I know that I can recall.
Comes to mind, yeah.
That comes to mind. Which is an Asimov story, which is about a world where humanity has mastered the ability to just find planets and put people on it, and so they just keep going outer and outer into space, giving everyone their own plot of planet, essentially.
And they start finding the parallel universes.
So they find the Germans, they find the Russians, they find all sorts of this, and then they find these alien creatures at the end. And so
so there are aliens, because I was going to say, like, okay, the only example you come up with is people meeting people.
So
good job.
Shut up. Hold on, let me. I think it's living space. There it is. So they are described as.
Was that ever released in a German translation?
I was thinking the same thing, but I had the good sense to keep it quiet. So they were.
It's the name for it does actually come from the German Lebensraum.
Of course it does, but purple. So they're described as purple things with big red veins, 3 eyes, and some sort of tentacles instead of hair. They have, but Mishnov and Berg didn't hear the rest. They were staring at each other in sick horror. So that's the ending of the book in the story. So that was my first. So that was more of an exploration of, because the universe is infinite, technically anything is possible in it. But you and I talked about that with Deepak Chopra, I think is his name.
Yeah. We recently discussed that that's not how infinity works.
Yeah, that's not how it works. If it breaks the laws of physics or the laws of nature, then it can't happen.
Infinity itself can still have constraints. I think the example I gave was an infinite series of 1 will never have a 2 in it, even though it contains an infinite amount of ones, and it's an infinite length.
And then we also discussed that a very weak argument, I think, that pi can't be every number combination, but it also, not only because it just can't, because it would be, you would need infinite 1s, infinite 2s, infinite 3s, infinite 4s, but also you would need to be able to have another 3.
Pi does not contain 2x pi.
Yeah. So that's so with numbers, with mathematics alone, you can disprove what Deepak Chopra is saying. No matter how much Oprah and
you don't even need quantum physics. You just need
maths,
basic formal logic.
But we're not here to debunk New Age people who are seeking out poontang. We're here to talk.
No, we're trying to do something much harder. Made sense of sci-fi.
Oh fuck! It's just so easy to debunk. It's just.
Fun. I know.
It's like taking one. It's like having a ladder leading up to the hoop, and just like slamming it, or like doing horse with a baby.
It's like taking candy from a baby, but it's one of those thalidomide babies, so it doesn't even have like fingers.
Oh.
You know what? We might have to cut that one. I'll speak to our editor. That's not making it in. Please tell me that's not making it in.
I don't know.
So.
What goes on in your cognition that made you think so? Okay.
It'll be fine.
No one listens to this anyway. Carry on.
Thank God. The first time someone listens to this, it'll be referred to as Exhibit C.
Oh, fuck.
And I'll be in enough trouble as it is. This won't matter.
Exhibit A will be our D.
Yeah, Exhibit B is just a biologist going in evidence. I'm saying I'll leave a lot of my own blood at the scene. It's fine. It's fine. Whatever you're thinking, not that bad.
Okay, carry on. So, what are the... so, I know there's encounters of the first, second, and third kind. What are the first, second, and third?
So we're probably most familiar with third, because of Steven Spielberg movie, E.T. No, Close Encounters of the...
Again, sorry for the weather disruption.
So third kind is... because I'll start there.
Yeah.
Third kind is humans having observation of extraterrestrials. So Close Encounters of the... tickety 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 tickety.
I'm sorry, if you couldn't hear that, was the sound of Jag googling this.
I think there was lightning in the background of yours. Your... yeah, that's what it must have been.
You need to get a non-mechanical
So there's
people.
So what's interesting about Close Encounters of the Third Kind is, and spoiler alert for a 1977 movie, it ends with the fourth kind, which is direct abduction.
Oh, so
Fifth kind is communication.
For those of you who can't see me because this is a podcast, I was doing that hole with the thing pointing through. 6. I thought
that'd probably be fifth, or maybe sixth. I don't know.
Well, it's bound to happen eventually.
So there's Hynek's scale, which is... it starts with lights in the night sky. So at that point they're not UFOs, because whilst unidentified, they're not necessarily flying nor objects.
Right.
Then daylight discs, which are UFOs, so seen in the daytime, followed by radar visual, which is to say hard evidence. We have detection, right? We have tools that can say there was a thing there. So that would be the first kind, is detection by some sort of tool. Close Encounters of the First Kind is detection from less than 150 meters. Close Encounters of the Second Kind is when a person or an object has a physical reaction or physiological reaction. So think of signs, the animals are acting weird. That's second kind. But so would be a person passing out, or being paralyzed, or crop circles are a second kind.
Those things people draw into farms to fuck with people.
Yes, they've all been hoaxes. That's true.
That's
third kind is when there is an occupant of a UFO, so an actual extraterrestrial. Close Encounters is when there is an alien near a person, and then Bleacher breaks down Close Encounters of the Third Kind into 6 subtypes, which is you see an alien inside a spaceship, you see an alien outside a spaceship, you see an alien near a spaceship, you see an alien but there is no spaceship, but spaceships have been reported as being nearby. you see an alien. There's no spaceship, and no one's mentioned a spaceship. And then you don't see anything, but SETI has picked up something that seems like communication.
Right.
And then fourth kind is direct abduction. Hynek didn't include that because he was like, "There's no abductions. Don't be stupid." And fifth kind is direct communication. So we're talking no significant time delay. So it could be over the phone. It could be in person.
It could be that.
I say over the phone. It would more be some sort of radio. It could be. You were going to say something? You say something? Yeah. Say something? Yeah. Anyway, that breaks down the kinds. If we want to head back to first contact and the different forms.
No, sorry. Monsters versus aliens. That's what I was thinking of. Is when the president.
I was thinking Mars needs mums, but okay.
No, so you know that scene where the president does the first contact by using the the piano. I don't know if you've seen that film. Oh. It's just he just does this awesome piano solo, and then the ship opens, and that's how I hope it happens. Yeah. Carry on.
See, I would have preferred if it happened during the rule of George Bush Jr. I'm pretty sure it was Jr. who was the jazz saxophonist. Because instead of piano, you just get a sax solo. Anyway, I think with first contact, we should start with things that you will be familiar with, even though they didn't come to mind, which again is fair. It's that sort of thing where if I say, name 10 types of dog, you might get a few, but then if I list off 40 types of dog, you'll be like, yeah, I knew all of those. Recall is much harder than recognition. So should we start with War of the Worlds? By H.G. Wells. 1897, that's a first contact story.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know if we categorize different types of first contact. But this would be of a type of alien technological superiority and disregard for human life, at least. I mean, it's outright hostility, but they certainly didn't respect us. So that would be a type, or a clade, perhaps, of first contact. Can you think of any examples of aliens being the superior ones and just steamrolling us?
Independence Day.
Yep.
Predator.
That's a first contact. Well, in canon, Predator isn't the first contact. They've been around for hundreds of years. It's a periodical thing where they come quite regularly for their hunts.
I don't actually know.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking
there is a first contact somewhere in there. Perhaps The Day the Earth Stood Still?
No, I haven't seen or read that.
Oh man, that's the classic with the say Clandathu, the alien robot thing, but it's Klaatu Barada Nikto. Does that ring a bell?
No. You just sound like a nerd.
It was the code phrase for the robot. Like the most famous phrase from any science fiction, Klaatu Barada Nikto. It's fine, doesn't matter. It's referenced in Return of the Jedi, and Phantom Menace and Clone Wars, so I thought maybe you'd recognise it.
In what way is it Reference.
Jabba the Hutt's employees are called Klaatu and Barada.
Okay.
Klaatu belongs to the Nikto species. There's the Kadasa Nikto or the Green Nikto. In Clone Wars, Jedi Master Ima Gundi is a Kajansa Nikto or Red Nikto.
You mean the guy's called I'm Gonna Die?
Yes, I'm Gonna Die is a Red Nikto.
Oh, those guys. Okay, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and then there's the Green Niktos.
No, never rang a bell. Because it was the name of characters that I just...
And so this is part of the bullshit of Star Wars, yeah. The parts where we have to explain something, in the 90s, which really just comes back to a prop guy in the 70s was trying to save money. The entirety of the recent movie. Sorry, by recent I don't mean 10 through 12, I mean the previous recent movies.
10 through 12?
Isn't that what it was?
7
through 9?
7 to 9.
Sorry, temporal aphasia. I sometimes fall out of time. There's going to be 3 more, and they'll be a little bit better, but still not as good. So not only am I old, I'm actually from the future. It gets confusing. Perhaps. Are you familiar with Isaac Asimov's The Gods Themselves?
No. I think we can just assume that you're going to have to carry this part of the conversation.
Alright. E.T. the Extraterrestrial?
Something I haven't seen yet.
That's a first contact story about a weird alien who makes friends with children.
A pedophile, yeah. Prince Andrew.
Probably not, but I'm remembering the scene with his finger and... I don't know.
It's like that recent thing where I remembered that you had been gunged but in a TV show. I just suddenly thought, what if that was a traumatic memory?
Oh yeah, I was on What Now in the mid-90s?
Yeah, and then I was just thinking, what if that was a traumatic memory that you reorganized?
I was talking to someone recently and they were like, hang on, this is a traumatic memory. How did I not know that was a traumatic memory? And it's like, yeah, well, in hindsight.
Hindsight's 2023? 4?
I'm going to hurt you.
Bring it on, bitch.
What
were we talking
so
about?
I feel like we've addressed
the fictional
aliens as aggressors and technologically superior. Yeah, so Halo. So we should hit some other types of
Avatar.
first contact.
Avatar. That's one I thought of. It's not first contact.
Yep, Avatar is a first contact story. I think it takes place shortly after first contact because they'd already gotten the DNA and stuff for the avatars. But basically anything that aliens has first contact in it. And I think it's fair to call Avatar first contact because it's...
Well, unless it's like
where significant contact comes into play.
Unless it's like Star Wars, where like the galaxy has been explored. But even then, there's still the unknown regions and things like that. So I don't know.
Star Wars as a whole is, the contact is too established at that point. Avatar's early enough into contact that I'd say, sure, yeah.
What were we?
So,
Yeah.
so we're going for other types of first contact. So there's can you think of any examples of friendly first contact? Perhaps.
Isn't there one where there's like the International Space Station, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger as more alien races join?
Oh, Valerian.
Yeah.
Valerian in the City of a Thousand Planets.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a You do know movies.
I only know that one. I
Um.
only know the scene where they keep shaking hands with each other, and the guy has to shake hands with that slimy thing. He's like, ugh.
A little bit of weather disruption on that one, but that's okay. Your end's probably fine actually if you're recording locally.
No, Jag, I'm recording your. No. If we did,
I wouldn't be too surprised.
I'm inside.
This is quite the hodgepodge of tech.
You just see me. You just look down and you just see me through a glass.
Alright, I think we just got interrupted by a robot.
Sorry. So you just look down and you just see a glass pane. You push back some curtains, and it's just me sitting in there on a computer, just like talking to a microphone. And I look up and go, close those curtains.
So, Valerian is probably the most first contact of any piece of fiction. Because, I mean, as you say, it's got that montage of repeated first contact.
Another interruption. Please stand by.
Yeah. Nice. So that's a good example.
Possibly another interruption. Please stand by. So while I've just got you guys by myself, sorry for the interruptions.
Series
as I said, we're currently
very
in a
upsetting.
Alright, that should restore.
What you say, I'm sorry, man.
Alright, there we go, that should restore.
You picked the middle of a terrible storm. Well, I did, I set the time. But I was going to use Blind Sight as my example of first contact.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
So this one's a bit more recent. This one's 2006. And I do recommend his works. And I feel like this is a good one to go into blind.
Sorry, I won't tell you anything about it. Moving on.
So I would just say that it is a first contact. No, I can discuss things that happen early on. I won't do any sort of reveals. There is some sort of spaceship that is doing initially thought as a comet, is doing some sort of flyby of the Earth, and it is communicating. And there's a big argument over, does it know what it's saying or not? There's this concept called the Chinese room. And it's the idea of, if I put you, Mr. Tremaine, into a room, and it has a slot on one wall and a slot on the opposite wall, and you get messages fed through one of the slots. This is your input, and it's in Chinese. Now, you don't speak or read Chinese, but you do have a great big desk in front of you made of if-then statements. So you get it, you look at the symbol you don't recognize. It could be ni, it could be war, it could be any Chinese character. You match it up with a Chinese character on the table. It doesn't say what to do in English. You have no English writing in there. It's just, if it has this, respond with this, and it's all mixy-matchy. It's basically a jigsaw puzzle of Chinese characters. So you get an input, you process it using this form that you don't actually understand, you just know what to do with it. You make an output, you send it out. That's the Chinese room.
Theoretically, what computers do, right?
Yeah. So, all computers, Chat GPT, for example, it doesn't understand what you're saying. It is a Chinese room. It knows if this, then this, and it's just procedural. And the book basically opens with a big discussion on, we send out radio messages to this spaceship saying something, it replies appropriately. Is there an alien inside who knows English? Or is this a Chinese room? And again, I'll leave it at that, but that is a very interesting first contact.
So, interesting enough about the Chinese room. When I was reading my university entrance stuff...
That's what school felt like.
No, fuck you. So, it actually has a piece on Chat GPT, or online AI, and it talks about how in order for you to use it correctly, you have to already be a expert in your field. So there's lots of people who
yeah, I saw Linus of Linus Tech Tips suggest a similar thing where he asked it to tell him step by step, how do I make a computer? And occasionally he was like, this is wrong, and it said it with such confidence that if I did not know it was wrong, I would do it wrong.
Well, yeah,
and
so
yeah.
the thing is with, and I know we shouldn't be talking about AI because we're not coders or anything like this, but we are big boys with big opinions.
I can do a little bit of programming. Speak for yourself.
Fuck
I mean, not
Jack.
AI level, no.
You can. Fuck you, Jake. You can't do it. Fuck you, anyway. I forgot.
I know BASIC. I know HTML. I've done Java and JavaScript and Flash.
Have you also performed on stage as Mama Shabu?
I have performed on stage as what? Sorry.
As Mama Shabu.
Performed on stage as what? No, I have not. I did do a brief stint as a burlesque dancer.
Oh my god, why would you say that? It's like,
Is that too personally identifying? It's true, I did.
Do you know what it's like? You know how the Zodiac Killer, they put all those little letters together? It's like there's just this one guy trying to figure out who Jay is, and he's putting all these, he's connecting all these dots.
We have one very unwell fan with a map on a wall with lots of red cotton threads,
and he's got
being like, that narrows it down. There's not many burlesque troops in New Zealand.
I'm just imagining him putting his hands behind his back going, you'll slip up one day, you son of a bitch.
And you reckon that might be the one that breaks the puzzle?
Police officer, get him! There was guns, there's a teenager, red herring, and then he was a burlesque dancer, is what he's found out from this program.
He's in his late 60s. Rode a dinosaur to school. I think we've got this.
Anyway.
He's claimed 7 different ethnicities as his primary one.
You can do
Yes,
that.
there are some red herrings, and I don't mean that in the communist sense.
What?
Huh?
Okay.
What?
So we're going to move on to what we think would happen in the first contact. Now, I want to talk about this because I personally believe as we have gotten smarter and more aware of things, we've gotten kinder. I think. I think if we had given the ability to wipe out an entire city with one bomb to the Romans or to the
So I'll challenge that. I
okay.
don't think it is due to. I think that you've spotted a correlation.
Okay.
I don't think kindness comes from greater societal intelligence, by and large.
Okay.
I think there may be a small influence there as we become more aware of enlightened self-interest. The fact that if others are doing better, you do, a rising tide raises all ships sort of thing. But I think kindness, societal level empathy, and all that stuff is just resources. As
Right.
more resources are available, we don't have to fight for resources as hard. So we're more able to be kind and empathetic. And I think we're supposed to be more kind and empathetic. And so without that fight against it, it is easy enough. We can head that way towards
I
our natural
I will argue.
inclination.
I will argue though that without that scientific advancement, we would not have the level of resources that would allow us to. So let me put it this way, right? In
Mm-hmm.
in a certain village in Cambodia, you.
Ooh, we're getting a story of your childhood. Lovely.
No one's figuring
Red
out
herrings, red
who.
herrings, red herrings. You've given your real name. Everyone knows who you are.
And no one cares.
Everyone.
Shut up! That is not a fair. So
No, you're right. Even I don't care who you are.
so
I care what you are. A lovely man. A kind, empathetic soul.
do we kiss now?
And if you believe that, I've got a bridge you might be interested in buying. Hey kid, you want to buy the Eiffel Tower?
I'm just imagining you lifting out like part of your coat and then just having
Open
those,
codes, the Eiffel Tower.
no, just those plastic ones they sell at the Eiffel Tower, and then he's like, "Why would I want a plastic Eiffel Tower?" And then you go, "No, this is the real Eiffel Tower."
Oh, that's way less fun than me having the real Eiffel Tower in a trench coat.
Well, so you open it and it just blasts up. It impales the kid as it flies out into the street.
Exactly. Like Ant-Man inside Thanos' butthole. Just boom.
And then you go, fuck the gypsy woman told me not to do that. Start dragging it back in.
Tremaine, we avoid the term gypsy these days.
No, I don't trust them.
Depending on which group they're from, they're usually either Romani or travellers.
Jag, you will
Sorry,
never...
we are trying to be better at this sort of thing in general, right?
Jag, you will never remove my prejudice of gypsies. I'm kidding, of course, sorry.
I personally love the juxtaposition of me being the one to tell you to behave better. I'm the one that always slips up. I'm sure our audience, both of them, are aware.
What, me?
Yeah, us.
I don't listen to
The
this
only people who listen to us.
I don't listen to this shit. Anyway, no,
I got good
really,
things to listen to.
like the Yogscast. No, anyway.
No.
But Boba. Anyway.
So,
Milady. No, so so I think as technology and your ability to explore gets more mature, you become less of a malevolent society. But I think I would agree with you that resources does play a much larger part in that. But I do think that if there were aliens capable of travelling whatever distance that they are,
they're not going to come here just to mess with some cows and leave. That seems unlikely.
Or destroy us. I don't, unless we are developing a technology that would challenge their dominance. But even then, I would be to me, it would be this concept of there would be this idea that there's this council and they go, okay, humanity is too dangerous because they are willing to kill anything to get ahead, and so we need to restrict their technology. And
I do have some examples of that.
Okay. I'll just cross out that as an idea.
So there was a short story in one of the anthologies I have. It may have been One Step from Earth, or possibly One Step Further, or something else entirely.
Thank you, Jay. And the internet's gone off again, so we will wait for Jag to come back.
The Martians who have been observing do a show of force and say, look, stay on your planet. You must stop researching nuclear technology, stay on your planet, you're a danger. And agree. And it's amazing, and it's done in the format of transcripts, messages between the aliens.
Right. Okay. So from what I got from that is the aliens on Mars show a demonstration of force to the Earthicans when they start developing atomic technology, and the Earthicans agree and back down. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Years later, it changes to transcripts of humans messaging each other, talking about how good quantum teleportation, and they just behind them, nothing personal, kid, and then just killed all the Martians. They're like, yeah, we'll stop doing nuclear stuff. Opens portal.
I'm just imagining.
But in a
I'm just imagining Albert Einstein teleporting behind a Martian and stabbing a knife through the fucking Martian's throat. Just don't you tell me what to do.
Explored and colonized by only prey species.
This is going to be the weirdest podcast ever, because it's just going to be me talking about something and then you 5 minutes later hearing. I think we'll call it there. Thank you all for listening. We will do another episode when cyclones are no longer in my area. And thank you for listening. Please bear with us. Our technology is not usually this poor. That's a lie. So please stay tuned. Every Tuesday at 7 a.m. we release a new episode. Please be aware.
Every second Tuesday.
Shut up. So we are also beginning the project Creation of Creativity, where we will be doing a more well-researched well recorded episode where we will do where we will work on teaching you about the evolution of creativity and hopefully learning some stuff on the way ourselves. And don't forget to go check out our Instagram and Facebook pages for more information and for the occasional question and the occasional helpful insight. Thank you for listening once more. I've been Tremaine. This has been...
Have a good day.
No, this has been Jag. And if you're the Zodiac Killer, hand yourself over. It's not funny anymore. Bye!
Was that Ted Cruz?